Hi guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review video. I have some Halloween-esque type of books. So the first book, which isn't a Halloween book, but I try to read one hardback book when I do a book review video. And this one is Wild Animals of North America. It's by the National Geographic Society. This is what it looks like. This book is self-explanatory. It divides up the mammals it's basically just the mammals of North America. And it splits them up into their different family groups. And there's pictures of all the different animals. There's an intro for all the different group types of mammals that there are. I really liked it. There was some facts in here that were pretty interesting. Excuse me, about animals that I didn't know anything about. It did take a while. The words were small on a page. But all in all, it was a good book. So this book is called Gilt by Association. It's a den of antiquity mystery. It's by Tamar Myers. Now, Tamar Myers, she writes all different kinds of mysteries, not just this set. I think she wrote one, and I'm not entirely sure on this, but I think she wrote, like, the candle making mysteries or something, where it's about this man who owns this candle store. I think that's the same author that wrote those. This is what it looks like. Now, I will give you a spoiler alert. The first page is when the main character finds the dead body. She bought this Louis the 14th, I think it was, furniture set. And inside of the one item was a dead body. And the thing with me when I read mysteries is I don't like when the crime happens in the first chapter or towards like the middle of the or towards the middle of the book. Or not towards the middle of the book, like towards the end of the book, basically. This book was just okay. What I didn't like about it was they kept adding characters, and it was hard to keep the characters straight because you had to remember, okay, this woman was the dead guy's wife, and this woman was this person's wife, and these people worked for this man who the main character got this stuff from. All this stuff, and it was just okay. There was a side plot in the book about her and her kids. Her kids are, like, the one is still a teenager and the other one is, like, a adult. And her husband and her divorced, and her husband married this, like, young, hot thing type of deal. And she doesn't like the woman and stuff like that. It was just, this book was just okay. I really didn't like it like I would have some of the other books by this author. So this book, I got this book, it was at a different Walmart than the one that I live next to. And it was only like, I think $5 something. It was in like the discount bin. And I didn't know it when I bought it, but this is actually a trilogy. And this is the first book in this trilogy. It's by Christina Henry. It's called Alice. This is what it looks like. And basically, it takes place after Alice's, I think she's like a teenager now. And she was put in this mental hospital because of all the things that she was sprouting about when she went to Wonderland the first time. And in this book, most of the characters are based on the characters from Wonderland. And this book, the whole point of this book was to do one specific thing. And the whole book, it's like, okay, we have to find this thing. We got to find this thing. We got to find this thing. We got to go to these people to find this, to kill this thing or whatever, you know, or these people or this person or whatever. And at the end of the book, when Alice is like, okay, this is my time to do what I'm supposed to do. And it ended in a most stupid way, let's just say, where you're like, they hyped up this book about, oh, we have to go find these items, and then we have to go do this specific thing in the book with the Jabberwocky. And she has to find the Jabberwocky. She has to kill the Jabberwocky in order to, I don't know what to restore order to the old city where she's currently in. And when she does it, well, let's just say she does it, it's in a most stupid way. Like, it's not in, like, a black and white kind of way. It's just a dumb way. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you hyped up this story about how, okay, now this is supposed to be like a horror story. And in the beginning, the way that they were describing, you know, the place she was in, what she looked like, all this stuff, it was like a horror book. And then it went more into like a thriller kind of book after that. There was some points of horror in it, but not a lot. And basically then it's going into, okay, now she's with this person she met in the mental hospital, and now they're trying to find his daughter, because she wants to find the white rabbit, and everybody's telling her, no, you don't want to be with the white rabbit, you don't want to be connected with him anymore. And the guy's daughter that she's the guy, his daughter that Alice is with, his daughter got purchased, you could say, by the white rabbit, and he wants to find the white rabbit or his daughter. And then the next book, I think, is called like the Red Queen or the Queen of Hearts or something like that. This book was funny. The characters in it were funny. It took a side turn, a U-turn, whatever you want to call it. It's called Huckleberry Finished. It's a Delilah Dickinson literary tour mystery. It's by Livia J. Washburn. This is what it looks like. And basically this is the second book in this series. The first book took place at a plantation. She's a literary tour guide where she takes you on a place that's closely resembles places in books. So the first one, they were at a plantation. In the first book, I didn't read it, but they kept bringing it up in this book. They were on a plantation. They stayed at a plantation to know what it was like in Gone with the Wind. So this book, they're going to Hannibal, Missouri. That was, I think, the birthplace of Mark Twain. So this whole thing, they're on this riverboat, and this man, he goes missing. And she has to find him because he was supposed to get off the boat and leave when they hit Hannibal. And she can't find him in here. The captain finds him, and he's dead. And she has to figure out why, because the boat isn't going anywhere until they figure out what happened to this man. And then here she gets involved in this other couple who are on the trip to find what happened to their daughter, because a year before this happened, their daughter died on the same boat, but in a totally different way. And it took some twists and turns. Like, I thought it was one person in this book, and then when they brought them up, Delilah's like, no, it can't be him. And I'm thinking, so well, then who could it be? And you're thinking to yourself, it can't be this one character. It would be too obvious. And then it was. So this book is another horror book. There's actually 3 books in this series. I found this book at Target. It has a sticker on it. But the other 2 books weren't in there. It's called Clown in the Cornfields by Adam Cesare. I don't know how you say his last name. And they made this into a movie. I don't know if they did yet or if it's been out. I don't know. But this is what it looks like. The book got really beat up at the ends. But basically, it's about this girl who she comes to the small town with her dad. Her mom's not in the picture anymore. And these teens do these horrible pranks around town. And at this Founders Day parade, something horrible goes wrong with one of the pranks they do. And basically the whole town just hates these teens that are running around. And they dress up like the town's mascot named Friendo. And I don't know how that's how you say his name or not. It's Frendo. And basically what happens is they decide to go to this party later on at night. And this clown appears and is killing off all the teens. Because they're like, we want to kill off this generation and start fresh. Basically, kind of, something like that. And I thought it was pretty good. Now, there was a point in the book where the main character's dad gets caught with this clown's group of people. And you don't really know what happens. Like, it just cuts off with her dad, and then you don't know what happened to her dad until almost like the end of the book, which I was waiting for them to get back to her dad. And then she goes into the backstory about her mom. And the backstory about her mom really didn't have any effect on the story, unless it does in the other books. I don't know. I don't have the other books, so I wouldn't know. But it makes me want... It reads like a classic... It's not made... This book wasn't set in the 80s, but it reminds me of a classic 80s slasher film, if that makes sense. Like, when you read it, you just picture it, and you're like, oh yeah, this is like a classic slasher brain rot movie, that kind of thing. So, last but not least, now this book is a kind of weird book. I didn't know it when I got it. It is a series of books, and the author says, you had to read the other books in this set to know what's going on in this book. I think this is a sci-fi book. This book is called Something Myth Inc. It's by Robert Asprin. This is what it looks like. And it's about this... It's a weird book because there's things in this book where they're talking about different dimensions, and only these demons can travel through different dimensions. And they're playing Dungeons and Dragons in this dimension that they're in. But the author says about how, well, these demons can bring ideas from different worlds to this world, so that's why they're playing Dungeons and Dragons in it. But the main gist of this book is a magician took over this kingdom and is holding the queen ransom, I guess. And he's raising taxes on the people, and people just want it to stop. People want this magician gone. So this group of people are going, a group of like all these different creatures and regular people, and they're disguising the monsters with a disguise spell so nobody knows the difference. It's just like, I want to get into different types or different genres of books. And this book, like, I tried to read a science fiction book before, and it was okay. This is the same way, like, it's okay, but it's weird, if that makes any sense to you guys. And it's a small book. It says that it's a book, but then there's like a short story at the end. So that was my book review video for this month. Now next month they might have fewer books, just because I try to read the Christmas books in November as well, so that way, like, when I do the Christmas book review video, I'm not doing it after Christmas, I guess you could say. So I might have like maybe three or four books. It depends on how fast I'm able to read them. But that was my book review video for this month. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you guys have a nice and safe, happy Halloween. Bye.